Yeshua said, "The sky and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall certainly not pass away. But be ye watching yourselves, lest perhaps your hearts be weighed down with tipsiness and drunkenness and cares of this life, and that day come on you suddenly as a snare. For so shall it come upon all them that dwell on the face of all the earth. But be ye keeping watch at every season, making supplication, that ye may prevail to escape all these things that shall become, and to stand before the Son of the Man." And every day he was teaching in the temple, and every night he went out, and lodged in the mount being called of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple, to hear him. Luke chapter 22. Now the festival of the unleavened breads drew near, the festival being called Passover. And the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how they might put him to death, for they were fearing the people. And Satan entered into Yehuda, who was called Ishkariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went away, and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might deliver him to them. And they were glad, and covenanted to give him money. And he consented, and he was seeking an opportunity to deliver him to them in the absence of the multitude. And the day of the unleavened breads came, in which it was being necessary for the Passover to be being sacrificed. And he sent Petro and Yohanan, saying, "Go and make ready for us the Passover, that we may eat." And they said to him, "Where wilt thou that we make ready?" And he said to them, "Behold, when ye are entered into the city, there shall meet you a man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house whereinto he goeth. And ye shall say to the master of the house, The teacher saith to thee, Where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples? And he will show you a large upper room furnished. There make ready." And they went, and found as he had said to them, and they made ready the Passover. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the sent ones with him. And he said to them, "With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I am saying to you, I shall not eat it until it be fulfilled in the kingdom of the God." And he received a cup, and when he had given thanks, he said, "Take this, and divide it among yourselves. For I am saying to you, I shall not drink from henceforth of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of the God shall come." And having taken bread, having given thanks, he broke it, and he gave to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for you. This do in remembrance of me." And the cup in like manner after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, that which is poured out for you. But behold, the hand of him that betrayeth me is with me on the table. For the Son of the Man indeed goeth, as it hath been determined, but woe to that man through whom he is betrayed." And they began to question among themselves, which of them it was that should do this thing. And there arose also a contention among them, which of them was accounted to be greatest. And he said to them, "The kings of the nations have lordship over them, and they that have authority over them are called benefactors. But ye, not so. But he that is the greater among you, let him become as the younger, and he that is chief as he that doth serve. For which is greater, he that reclineth, or he that serveth? Is not he that reclineth? But I am in the midst of you as he that serveth. But ye are they that have continued with me in my tests, and I am assigning to you, just as my Father assigned to me, a kingdom, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and ye shall sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Simon, Simon, behold, the Rationale requested you, my disciples, for himself, to sift as the wheat is sifted. But I supplicated for thee, Simon, that thy faith fail not. And do thou, when thou hast turned again, establish thy brothers. And he said to him, Lord, with thee I am ready to go both to prison and to death. And he said, I am saying to thee, Petro, the rooster shall not crow this day until thou shalt deny that thou knowest me. And he said to them, When I sent you forth without purse and wallet and shoes, lacked ye anything? And they said, Nothing. And he said to them, But now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise a wallet. And he that hath none, let him sell his cloak, and buy a sword. For I am saying to you, that this which is written is being necessary to be completed by means of me. And he was reckoned with lawless ones. For that which concerneth me hath a completion. And they said, Lord, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said to them, It is sufficient. And he came out and went, as his custom was, to the Mount of the Olives, and the disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said to them, Be ye praying to enter not into testing. And he was parted from them about a stone's throw, and having set the knees, he was praying, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but let thine be becoming. And there appeared to him a messenger from sky, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat became as it were great drops of blood falling down upon the ground. And when he rose up from his prayer, he came to the disciples, and found them sleeping for sorrow, and said to them, Why are ye sleeping? Having arisen, be ye praying, so that ye enter not into testing. While he yet spoke, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Jehudah, one of the 12, went before them, and he drew near to Yeshua to kiss him. But Yeshua said to him, Yehudah, betrayest thou the Son of the Man with a kiss? And when they that were about him saw what would follow, they said, Lord, shall we smite with the sword? And a certain one of them smote the bondservant of the high priest, and struck off his right ear. But Yeshua answered and said, Be ye allowing as far as this? And he held the ear, and healed him. And Yeshua said to the chief priests and captains of the temple and elders that were come against him, Are ye come out as against a robber with swords and staves? Of my being according today with you in the temple, ye stretched not forth your hands against me, but this is your hour and the authority of the darkness. And they seized him, and led him away, and brought him into the high priest's house. But Petro followed afar off. And when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the court, and had sat down together, Petros sat in the midst of them. And a certain maid, seeing him as he sat in the light of the fire, and looking steadfastly upon him, said, This man also was with him. But he denied, saying, Woman, I know him not. And after a little while another saw him, and said, Thou also art one of them. But Petros said, Man, I am not. And after the space of about 1 hour, another confidently affirmed, saying, Of a truth, this man also was with him, for he is a Galilean. But Petros said, Man, I know not what thou art saying. And immediately, while he yet spoke, the rooster crowed. And the Lord turned and looked upon Petro, and Petro remembered the word of the Lord, how that he said to him, Before the rooster crow this day, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. And the men that held Yeshua mocked him and beat him. And they blindfolded him and asked him, saying, Prophesy, who is he that struck thee? And many other things spoke they against him, reviling him. And as it became day, the assembly of the elders of the people was gathered together, both chief priests and scribes, and they led him away into their councils, saying, If thou art the anointed, tell us. But he said to them, If I tell you, ye would not believe. And if I ask, ye would not answer. But from henceforth shall the Son of the Man be sitting at the right hand of the power of the God. And they all said, Art thou then the Son of the God? And he was saying to them, Ye are saying that I am being. And they said, What further need have we of witness? For we ourselves heard from his mouth. And the whole company of them rose up and brought him before Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, We found this man perverting our nation and forbidding to be giving taxes to Caesar, and saying that he himself is anointed a king. And Pilate asked him, saying, Art thou being the king of the Yehudim? And he answered him and said, Thou art saying. And Pilate said to the chief priests and the multitudes, I find no fault in this man.